Hey, this is Tim. I'm playing some Spelunky. Well, I'm not playing it right now. This is recorded afterwards, as is probably going to be obvious because I'm not screaming at certain points. I'm whipping the gold here because I'm doing a 0 gold run. Basically, well, not basically, this is a comprehensive explanation in full detail of what I'm trying to do. Got to beat Olmec, in other words, the non-secret ending, the basic game without doing anything special, without picking up a single bit of gold. No, I can't pick up the exact amount to buy an item, buy that item, and then finish the game with 0 gold. You have to beat it without picking up any whatsoever. That is really hard. The two hard things in Spelunky really, I guess, are beating hell, and then there's, well, beating hell's the basic thing that's quite tricky. The very hardest thing would be an eggplant run, but then there's beat the game with over 3 million score, or beat the game through hell with 0 score, disregarding the score you get from beating Olmec and from beating Yama, who's the secret final boss. So, I'm not going to be talking about the game too much because I'm not recording while I'm playing. I'm just going to go over my day yesterday. So, I got up and I think I managed to walk the dog, but then my mum was really feeling sick. She'd been sick for a while and they think there's an ulcer, but she was having extreme pressure in her chest and lower back, and she was having pains down her arm. Now, my biological dad died of a heart attack, and my stepdad, who I call dad because he's raised me really, has had heart problems. He has 3 stents. So when you have someone with crushing feeling and pain and tightness in their chest, and then pain down one arm, you call a fucking ambulance. And we did. They came. Luckily, ECG was fine, but there were a couple blips that they wanted to get checked out. We went to the hospital and got further checks. Everything was okay, though, luckily. Well, not everything was okay. She is still ill, and it's some sort of gastrointestinal problem, but it's not her heart. We did have some interesting times there, and ironically, we'd just been talking about to the ambulance drivers about how there isn't enough help for people with mental illnesses. There isn't enough specialised help, especially if there's an emergency involving them. What do you know? There are 2 people in the wards having severe psychotic breaks, just absolutely shrieking about, don't let anyone leave, it's dangerous, blah, blah, blah. Well, I got lost and I would manage to use their psychotic wails to find my way back. But besides that, it's slightly unsettling. I'm not saying it's an inconvenience they should be gotten rid of. I'm saying, yeah, I feel sorry for them, but for their sake and for the sake of people who are really hurt, who need the quiet, there should really be some funding put into a specialist area for people who have those problems. Because, I mean, the way they were dealing with them as well, one of them was screaming, get me a lawyer, and I assumed she was restrained, and their answer was to bring a security guard. I don't know what happened, but she went quiet afterwards. So maybe she was gagged. I don't know. That's not the right way to deal with people, though, I feel, at least. Anyway, on a more light-handed? That's not a fucking thing. On a more light-hearted note, when we went to leave, they'd forgotten they'd given my mother a huge dose of aspirin in case it was a heart problem, because that will thin your blood. They'd also put a cannula into her, the back of her hand. Now, they took the cannula out and just stuck a cotton bud on. Didn't check to see if the bleeding was going to be stopped by that. And no, it wasn't. So we had a nurse shouting behind us, hey, is there a needle in your hand? Because my mom had been leaving a massive scarlet trail of drips behind us as we were going to leave, so we had to go and get that sorted out because her blood was so thin it just came pouring out when the cannula was removed. Oh yeah, I'm watching my gameplay video while I'm saying this, while keeping one eye on it. You might notice it goes a bit juddery. That's just because of fraps. It runs perfectly smoothly normally, but it can get a bit scary when you're recording and it goes juddery, especially once we're going to be... no spoiler. Sorry for that alien voice. Not meaning to spoil anything, but yeah, you can probably tell by the length of the video. We are going to get to the temple. Maybe I do it. maybe I don't. You'll just have to keep watching and see, or skip to the end of the video. But if you want to hear more stupid fucking stories from my life, go ahead and just keep watching, and you'll find out at the end. I've talked about pretty much everything but Spelunky, and Spelunky probably, or at least tied with Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind, is my personal favourite game of all time. It just clicks with me. The one little thing that would be nice is, although you can modify the game on your own, it would be nice if they'd implemented, and they might yet in the future, because this HUD that you've got, this display of stats and stuff with the timer and everything, that's a new addition. They've added that on. What I'm hoping is that eventually they'll add an inbuilt tool to let you run seeds against your friends without it being the daily challenge. Now, there are third-party tools that let you do that, but I think it would just be really nice to have that built in, absolutely hassle-free. Additionally, it would be nice if there was some sort of toolkit to let you draw your own characters, because as it stands, you can go into the files, unpack them, and then fiddle with the characters, sprites, and there you've got a custom character. But making a new one is quite hard if you're not good at editing stuff. It would be nice if they gave it to you frame by frame and let you draw it, and there was some sort of tool that let you do that easily. It's actually been quite a while since I've really played Spelunky, because I got it when it first came out. Well, the remake of Spelunky, the HD remake. I got that from a competition on Reddit run by Derek Yu, the main Mossmath guy, and it was just a competition to ask him a question or something like that, and I just said, what's the best way to use Spelunky, the word Spelunky in a rap battle, and he sent me a key for the game on Xbox Arcade. I hadn't even played the original at that point. I just thought, oh cool, free game, I'll try it out. That was the start of an obsession. I easily put in over 1,000, probably closer to 2,000 hours on the Xbox version. Got all the achievements and everything, and just it got to the point where it was almost a supernatural sixth sense, even though there are way more than six senses. But the classical or traditional five senses plus one supernatural Spelunky sense. A lot of people try and Twitch this game. They try and run through things and then quickly react. You are going to get just fucked up if you try and do that. You have to take it almost chunk by chunk. Even when you look at B-Rex's runs, where he's using the teleporter and beating the whole game in like 2.5 minutes, you can see he's sort of analysing it chunk by chunk and then planning what he's going to do and then doing it, rather than running in and reacting as bad stuff happens. Sometimes your planning is going to be bad, and then that's when the Twitch is going to come in, but that is like a bad safety net. You shouldn't be constantly relying on Twitch. One thing I do that is a bit twitchy is I try to deliberately whip arrows coming out of arrow traps whenever I can, just to keep myself in practice for the reflex. What is going to happen soon is I'm going to make a bad choice. I suppose I'll spoil it now. I am going to lose. Right, so close to beating it with a 0 gold run, because don't forget, I'm doing it without picking up any treasure. What happens is I decide there's a bit I can fall down, there's a thwomp, I blow a hole, I jump down, and then I have to try and jump. Don't jump so high that the thwomp can then get me, but also jump high enough to avoid the tiki trap spikes. I'll let you place bets on whether the thwomp or the tiki trap is going to kill me. So place those now, and I'll be paying out in approximately 700 years. That seems fair. That's the point at which I'd probably be able to pay that, because I've just my parents have helped me by financing my musical career by helping me get a baritone guitar and a Kemper profiling amp, so I won't need to drive everywhere to gigs, because I can just bring that in a bag on the bus, plug it straight into the mixing desk, sorted. It emulates the cab, so it's as if there were a mic'd cab, but there isn't really, it's just digitally emulated or profiled, which is really, really convenient. Got a job interview tomorrow, 10:30, 3 days a week, 6 a.m. till 10 a.m. Now, that's not going to get amazing amounts of money, but for me, that is like the perfect time, because I'm busy in the evening, I'm busy in the day. 6 a.m. till 10 a.m. in the morning. Perfect. I so hope I get that job. Anyway, we're coming near the end of the run. How long is this run? This run is about 10 minutes 41 seconds. We're coming up to my fuck up. And this is like basically a perfect example of what I'm saying is you plan each bit and I plan it badly and I'm going to have to rely on Twitch skills, and my Twitch skills fail me in this instance. I'm not sure what happened because my jump, it was super tiny, as you're going to see. I don't think it's ever normally been that tiny. Especially with, I think I have spring shoes. It's just a pain in the butt. Alright, see you next time.